Dope girl, you got my thoughts in a swirl. You got me longing only for you, and it's true, we only just met. But a lack of familiarity is readily remedied. Already you've steadily stepped on my subtleties. So I'm substituting footprints for fingerprints to imprint in my heart. You've been ink dipped from the start, and I can feel you confiding your captivating commentaries into my library. I can feel you pouring yourself into my soul, into the very essence of who I am, and there you were, like a diamond in the sky, engulfed in sunlight, and I was like a blind man regaining sight suddenly. I was slightly frightened at first, but then overwhelmingly euphoric. So before I get any further, for there was much more to discuss, I must confess and express this sweet surrender. I love you in more ways than I could pretend to. You're my dope girl, but not the type that Traphik's white, so I might just buy enough of your supply and overdose if it'll get me closer to your heart. For your judge is love, and I'm your most loyal fiend. So I hope you'll take mine for currency, because I currently own my own treasury. So if you treasure these words, I'll make you rich beyond measure. I want to live to please you and keep you at ease. Balance is key with these poetic talents lent to me, so hopefully I can keep them steady. But whether you're ready for me or not, here I come from the cosmos with those clever letters sent to hypnotize, sent to make you realize what lies before your very eyes, or before my eyes is first prize. If you can so be labeled, fable beauty be you to me, you own your own category. You're in a league of your own where our competition is blown away, but still I stay put, and found guilty of public intoxication. You got me vacationing on this natural high. You're my dope girl, thoughts swirl into the twilight. She's the highlight of my every night. She's a sight for sore eyes. She brightens my skies and lightens my load. She explodes through my veins and dilates my pupils. Her love carries me carelessly through press and impressions, through peaks and depressions, through mountains and valleys. Don't tell me she's not what I need. She speeds up my pulse and makes me feel alive. She stimulates all five of my senses plus one. She's restless when my thoughts are at rest. She puts all of my uncertainties to rest. She's certainly the best hit of anything I've ever had, certainly to be the last I'll ever have. And I want to drink every drop of your sloppy mess. Taste the thoughts in this testimony of how you left your flavor savoring the substance of my being. I want to end this spleen, but I end up closed off and withdrawn, shuddering and shaking, taking great pains to relieve myself of your essence. But when you beckon, my strength breaks and I come calling back for your injections of codependency. I want to not need you. Every time I think I'm free, you glue yourself to the back of my hand. I know you better than I know myself, but not more than you know. I'm no match for you. We go together like a pair of congruent paradigms. Like a pair of rhymes, we sound the same but have a different spelling, telling each other we have different meanings. I know you meant well, but I fell when I flew too close to the warmth of your smile. Miles, I spiraled down endlessly in a free fall, heartbeat stalled. I lost the lift required for flight. I lost the sight required for truth to be seen. I made you my diet, but grew too lean. You infected my life, but still, I willingly drink you deep. Keep you close to my heart, jumpstart me with your venomous kiss, I beg of you. I plead for you to need me too. Why does the master shun the pupil? Why is it not wise for my eyes to be what you gaze upon when seeking sustenance? Why is my touch not the electrifying element required for metamorphosis? I suppose this is music for the wretched. For your beauty does not see the state of despair it brings to me. You are painfully perfect. Agonizingly amazing, the heat haze of your aura distorts the dimensions of your figure. Reality is warped in your presence. Your essence is deadly, and I drink it daily for maintaining a healthy insanity. If this were any better for me, it would be prescribed for me medically. It is definitely an indefinable sensation you bring to me. I submerge myself in the illusion of wanting to be free. It's a bittersweet symphony, composed by the sporadic addict with an erratic addiction to anything that hurts me. The pain wakes me from my dreams. I float merrily down streams of forgetfulness where regret, guilt, and shame carry the same emotional name. Cause she hangs on horizons and she speaks softly into the silences of sincerity. Her purity is puncturing my doubts. My heartbeat shouts with glee. She has to be the girl for me, it just adds up. Pen to pad, she writes herself into my history. What is the future to her if not simply a fantasy? She has to be the fairy to my tale of two cities, the fiction to my biography, the dream in my twisted reality. Her gifted personality has shifted my crafty creativity. Let's see if she can meet me in the galaxy of dreams come true. She is my dream come true. My dream manifested, the result of hope tried and tested. She's my one in infinity. I'm infinite in my affinity for her. She's infinitely more than I deserve. She's infamous for her swerving hips. The curve of her indigenous lip got me wanting to be attached to her hip. Better yet, her pubic. I'm public with this intoxication. My face shows my thoughts racing, my heart's pacing. I drop weight when my imagination runs away from me. I'm blatantly boisterous about my lack of toys. This girl is poison to me. She's poisoning my sanctity. Lust is lusting after me. I'm hearing laughter after she's grabbing me, backstabbing me. She got the gift of gabbing me. I'm just doing this on surviving her thing. I'm still reviving this fling, so I wrap rings around her roses. Take snapshots of her picture-perfect poses, of her picture-perfect style, and her picture-perfect smile. I'd walk 1,000 miles just so we could have our first step. Just so I could behold her beauty in my eyes and hold it in my soul, and it would overflow and come pouring out my pores, and vocal cords and scores of bodies would behold her beauty and think it was me, and they would stand in awe of my radiance. But I am but the radius to the circumference that encompasses her entirety, because her light is entirely too bright to be seen by the naked eye, except for on those nights where I eclipse her beauty. So through me you see clips of what I see when I close my eyes. And if you haven't yet realized, I am the moon, and she is the sun. And the sky is her love, so I have no choice but to be in love. And the clouds are the poems that she writes for me, because her moisture is inspiring, and she inspires me, as it's plain to see. And she paints me into her pages, because she fancies me as if it's a fantasy. And that's how I know we were meant to be. It just adds up. Pen to pad, it just adds up. So I sum it up poetically, and I call it my poetry. I sum her up poetically, and I call her my poetry.